Good morning, guys. It's Miguel from Stage Racing again. So today we are going to explain as much as we can about how I did the Srt-4 harness in a 95 to 99 Dodge Neon uh, install. So good news and bad news is good news, it's already done. Bad news is I had about 26 minutes worth of video of the more detailed stuff, but it got corrupted. I don't know how, but I only have like a couple of the videos before that didn't get full bar. So I'm going to try to explain on the next video here in a second as far as like what I did. It's already going to be installed. I'm going to be as detailed as I can, but I'll try to add the other videos before that to just kind of show process, I guess, if that's the best thing. There's not a lot of videos left, so I'm gonna try to make what's the phrase, lemon out of lemonade, or me being Mexican, make I don't know what's a good reference, tacos out of, I don't know, man. You can make tacos out of anything. Honestly, it's pretty good. You can make them out of tongue, out of people who said they don't like tongue tacos, something's wrong with you. Like, you got to really get in there and it's seasoned and it's pretty good. But that wasn't a good reference. That's just, I'm making something out of nothing. So bear with me. Let's, I'll show you as much as I can while it's installed and then go from there. So just hope you guys like the video. Do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like. If you want to comment on there as far as like what you did different, or help out the next guy who's doing it, let's do it. This is all about helping each other. This isn't about proving a point of, I'm better than you. This is just helping people who haven't done it in the past, really put them in the right direction. So let's start the video. All right, guys, I want to add another thing when we're speaking about the dash harness here. I also put in the engine side harness. That was also part of the old video. Put it all in. So when I did that, I routed it through and it fits through the same hole as the OEM one in. The OEM first gen one did. The SRT one fits just perfectly right in there. You just got to make sure it's like really flat like that. Because if it's, trying to get a good light in there, if it's not flat like that, it's going to want to pull every time you move something. And as you can see, that's where the slave cylinder that I mounted not too long ago, there is a good amount of room still, so you can shove your hand in there and push it through. But once you do that, it kind of sets itself in place. And right now it's just hanging until we get to the other portion of it. But inside, I'm going to see if I can get you a good view of it. Inside right there, see how it's bulged out? By bulging out like that, that means that the seal is all the way under the big grommet. So just little hope for you guys. Just to kind of help you when you pull it out, you pull it towards you, that it gets pulled in on the way, so it seals it up pretty good. But yeah, I just want to add that little nugget and tidbit for you guys to help you guys along too when you put the engine harness in, and go from there. All right, folks, here's what it looks like installed already. This is the complete Srt-4 harness in here. But let me get kind of to what I had to do to get to this point. So I took this off, left the crash bar, which is right here. I left the crash bar in there. But I took this off and took the first gen harness channels off. This is the first gen one. The SRT one's like thicker and thicker widthwise. And it didn't work as good because it was just too much stuff to you would have to wire loom everything. So I basically took the first gen harness channel, took all that off, took all the first gen wires off, and put the Srt-4 channel in there and just kind of routed it in a way where everything would go. I know for a fact that this plug right here this harness right here goes to this plug, which is the dash cluster plug. And then you have your other cables that run from the side of the Srt-4 dash harness. This is obviously your fuse box in here. There's 2 holes that is held together by Phillips screws, so that's super easy. It's almost like it's supposed to go there. And then you have your see if I can get a good light in there. Your give me 1 second. I don't know what the official name of that box is, but it holds 2 major plugs going from the engine harness. This empty plug right here is going. It's going to be part of the body harness. This one right here is part of the dash, and I'm almost pretty sure this goes to the windows. And the funny thing is that the window one for the first gen looks like this. So we're gonna have to repin everything. For the most part, there it is. Coming from the engine harness is going to be the let's see if I can get you in there. You're gonna have the plugs in there. You're gonna have your brake switch right there, and then you're gonna have your clutch safety switch right there. For the most part, it's all plug and play when you go from the engine harness to the Srt-4 harness. A lot of this stuff you'll see where it just plugs in like where it's supposed to. What you're looking at right now here is all your this is part of the dash harness. This is all going to the steering column cluster, or the steering column. And part of the engine harness, you're gonna have this plug right here that it will be part of the body when we get the body harness in there. And your OBD2, we got to find a way to wire this up pretty nice. Part of the dash harness will be this radio plug. I left it on for right now because I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it. And let's see. Yeah, you got this one goes to the steering column, and this one goes to I believe this one right here is your radio. This one right here is another, and see how I sectioned it off through the channels, and there's like a channel here, here. There's like multiple channels where these stuff goes to. In here, I didn't use this one. These right here are your defroster and your sunroof. Here you wire this through. You run this through the engine harness. This is your boost gauge. And we ran this other wire coming from the engine harness, or from the dash harness here. And this is your, I believe, HVAC stuff. More HVAC stuff. This one right here is part of the dash harness. This is your same thing as the window switch, or window power windows end plug for the other side. So it should be in here. We have to replug everything. You can see right there. That's the first gen door plug, so we'll have to repin that. And I did some trimming, not a lot. I mostly did all the trimming in here for the gauge cluster. So in order for this to really work, you have to trim a lot of this stuff out. Normally this is all gone because normally the first gen stuff goes here. The plugs for the first gen dash cluster go there. Obviously it's not there anymore, so we had to run the cable, the harness goes from here back here, and then mount this plug in a way that it's like latched in there a little bit. This side broke, and it came broken from when I got it off the guy I bought it from. So what it's just is make a plate. Now this is made of carbon fiber. You don't have to make it out of carbon fiber. You can make it out of whatever you want. And then I put 2 rivets in it so it holds it in place and it won't move. So it's just a matter of try to make it feel like the first gen. You push it in there, and then I have to come up with like L brackets on the dash or the gauge cluster to mount to something. So we haven't got that for yet. I don't want to put that on yet until you know, we get farther along and where everything's got to sit as it should. Also, there with the dash harness, you're going to have 2 plugs, 2 ground cables, and I think there's multiple ways of grounding this. But what I did, since I painted the crash bar, I just grounded it down to bare metal and just grounded them here. I tried to angle them in a way so that they are, you know, not bumping into each other. They're not in the way of each other. It's as free as possible. Up here, part of the dash harness is the this is going to your window wiper motor and I believe your blow resistor. These here, I don't know what these go to yet, but I will find out eventually when I do the body harness. For the most part, it's just a matter of just, like I said, it's just lining everything up as it should so that it basically flows it flows as best as possible without getting in the way of each other. And it's just a matter of when I put everything back together, I put the plastic piece in first, and then I ran, and then I got the harness and then laid it on. I didn't screw anything on just yet till I know where everything's going to be at. And then it's just a matter of running everything, tightening everything down. You'll find your own ways of running these cables. Like right here, I ran it a certain way so it goes, I don't know if you can tell in there. Basically, I ran it so that one harness, this harness over here, that you can see, this one goes to this portion right here, this guy. And then this harness, I ran it so that it goes to the fuse box. So you'll see when you do it, it's just a matter of just running it accordingly so that they're not in the way of each other. It's not pulling, it's not yanking on each other. We're not going to do the steering column just yet. It should be fairly easy, but maybe I'll make a video out of that. But for right now, we're not doing the steering column. But like I said, this is what it looks like when you are 80% done, besides connecting some smaller stuff, repinning the door switches, the door harness here, door harness over here. But for the most part, here's what it's going to look like. My way of doing it, here's what it's going to look like when it's all said and done. It wasn't that bad. It was just a matter of just, the hardest part was just finding which channels of the you want to run the harness to. Once you figure that part, it's actually super easy. It's just a matter of just laying it in place, taping over it, and then putting some wire loom on some stuff, but it's fairly simple. For the most part, I think it's a good way of showing you guys how to do it. And like I said, I've seen guys do this thing totally different, how they do them, and then there's no wrong way. As long as it works and it doesn't cause a problem or it doesn't become a fire hazard because the wires rubbing together, it shouldn't be a problem. I think you guys should be fine. But yeah. All right, guys, I hope you guys liked the video. There's about at least 10 minutes of information to help you guys do the dash install. It's not ideal. I wish we were able to save the other video, but it just didn't work out. It roughly took me about a couple hours to do this. For me, I have a work life, I have a family, so I chopped it up between like a couple weekends. And just taking my time running through the channels, checking the wiring, kind of ballparking where it should go to. There is a thing, if you Google it, it's like Srt-4 schematics, or it's a PDF of just like everything. So, I mean, you guys should be able to find that. It's super easy to do. But I hope you guys found the video informative as best as I could give it to you guys without the really good info that was lost. I told you about the engine just to install it. It's not really even going through the wiring of it yet. It's just installing through the firewall. I showed you guys kind of how I did the dash as best as I could without putting hands on it, just because it was already done. But I hope that helped you guys out. And you know, I think the next video we're going to try to do the body harness. I think just installing. We're not. We're going to do the body harness, and we're going to see what it gets included with the first gen body. I already removed the first gen body harness. But yeah, just so that you guys can kind of see what I went through. And help you guys with some headaches down the road. I haven't seen a good amount of YouTube videos how to do the body or the dash, so I'm hoping it helps you guys out. And I keep saying hope, and I hope that it does. Yeah, that's what I said. So yeah, also just a little nugget and tidbit. Again, save your harnesses. Save your first gen harness. Save your dash. Save your body. Save your old engine. You absolutely never know if you might need it. Do not throw it away. So I've saved all of them so far. If I need to wire something up a little different in order to make this work, I need to still check what wire numbers go to which pin location. So this is purely install. We haven't even got to like the into the thick of it. You know, we're kind of just figuring that part out. So, but please save your harnesses till the project is done, or you get past where you're done with that side of the wiring. So just save them. It'll save you guys a headache. So once again, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe to the videos. We see that. We see the comments. We see on Instagram. We see it on YouTube. We appreciate everybody's love and appreciation that is helping us out, whether it's just sharing, comment, you know, every other like team, like Indulge Racing Club, Motor Club is one of our really good friends. We used to track race a lot. They've been doing like little pictures for us and stuff like that. They always show love, so show love to them. So anything that we can do to, you know, just help the community out, or you guys help us out, please do it. It's just good karma all the way around. So once again, guys, thank you. Have a great night, great day, great afternoon, great morning, wherever you guys are at in the world. I have no idea. So just be blessed. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next video. Go from there.